Won't you listen to reason? Will you open your eyes? It's a wonder what you'll find with an open mind. You may be surprised. Yeah, gotta get away from this illusion for the sake of the world. This delusion has gotta go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Atheist Experience Live. I'm your host, Matt Dillahunty. Joining me this week, Jeff D.
Hey, Matt.
How you doing?
Good, you?
I'm all right. It is Sunday, September 26, 2010. We are live from Austin, Texas, streaming over the internet. You can find out more information about the show at www.atheist-experience.com. You can also find out more about the group that sponsors the show. That's the Atheist Community of Austin by visiting www.atheist-community.org. There you'll find frequently asked questions, a calendar of events page, and there have been plenty of events going on and a lot more coming up. If you don't get through on the telephones today, or you don't want to, you can email tv@atheist-community.org, and that goes to myself, the co-hosts, and the people behind the scenes. This is a live call-in public access television program. We'll have the number up for you like almost immediately. In addition to this program, we have other media efforts which are currently on hiatus, so I won't, belabor the point of the nonprofits having not had an episode in a while, but it's coming back, just not as quickly as I thought. In addition to the media efforts, the ACA also promotes a number of social events and lecture series. Our lecture series is the first Sunday of every month at the Austin History Center, located at the corner of 9th and Guadalupe. The lecture for October 3rd will be Steve Bradding, and the topic of the lecture is Dr. Darwin Makes a House Call. The lecture begins about 12:15 or so. You'll want to be at the History Center at noon. Last night was our annual ACA Bat Cruise. Austin has the largest metropolitan population of bats in the world, and we every year rent a boat in September and go out on the lake and watch the bats go out to feed at sunset. And once again, it was a huge success. Nearly 100 people, same as last year. Filled up this electric motor driven paddle boat out on the lake, and we had a good time, some drinks and conversation and snacks and lots and lots and lots of bats. It's always a fun night out. Some folks went to Threadgill's afterwards, and others went to Casino El Camino and Esther's Follies, a musical comedy magic extravaganza that is pure Austin and pure 6th Street, that I go 4 or 5 times a year. So I always like to have, when people come in from out of town for that Bat Cruise, we go down and do that. A lot of announcements and upcoming events, and I'll try and breeze through them just as quickly as possible. As a reminder, after this program's over, we get together for dinner at Threadgill's. It's 301 West Riverside Drive, and any atheist or atheist-friendly person is welcome at any of our events. You don't have to be a member to attend, and if you want to come down for dinner and conversation afterwards, please feel free to do so. Also on the email, please remember that we cannot possibly answer every email that comes in. I'm perpetually behind. It's not even worth mentioning now, but we do read them all, and we appreciate the feedback, and we will make changes and corrections that are necessary. So there's some changes coming up. Today will be the last 90-minute episode of the Atheist Experience, at least for a little while. The Public Access Studio has changed their guidelines and restricted all shows to 1-hour slots. So for the upcoming season, we will be moving, we'll be staying at the same time slot, but we'll be moving to the bigger studio, which we're hoping will solve some of the technical problems related to calls and audio. We'll see what happens. And we will be reduced to a 1-hour slot, which means I'll be shortening the announcements dramatically. We'll be relying on banners across the bottom to direct people to the website for more information. We will not remind everybody every week about everything that's going on. And we may shorten up the topic section of the show in order to get to calls. This also means that we're going to try to shorten calls in the future. And I don't mean that, everybody gets 20 seconds to make their case and then, we move on to somebody else. It's just that we will probably stop rambling calls or lengthy discussions a lot quicker than we have in the past. We're optimistic that this change to an hour won't be devastating for the show, and there are some people who think that may actually force some changes that improve the show quality overall. And we're looking into possibly getting two 1-hour slots in future seasons. So we'll see how that goes. As we're moving to the other studio, the phone number will change. So this is the last week that the phone number, which they're going to put up in a second right over here, which is 512-477-2288. This is the last week that number will be valid at all. And the next week, October 3rd, there will not be a show. We're being preempted by the Mormons, something that happens every 6 months. So the next live show in the main studio will actually be October 10th. So we got this week's show at 90 minutes, no show next week, and then a show on October 10th. The announcements to get out of the way really quick. We want to congratulate Dave Silverman on being elected as American Atheist new president. Ed Buckner is retired, and Dave's just been announced, and we're looking forward to working more closely with American Atheists in the future, maybe getting Dave down here on the show to talk some, and other endeavors, so stay tuned for that. The October 8th through the 10th in the Dallas area is the Texas Free Thought Convention. You can go to texasfreethoughtconvention.com for more information. October 16th, I will be speaking at CFI in Tampa. November 16th, I will be at UMBC for a debate. We'll get you more details as we get closer to that date. October 2nd is the ACA's blood drive, and that closes out all of the announcements that I had.
Awesome.
So like 6 minutes and 7 minutes.
Something occurred to me that the 1-hour shows are also will be helpful for those people who have only recently discovered this show and are trying to watch their way through the backlog.
Yeah.
They will not have such a hard struggle to catch up for a while.
So we've got callers already on the lines, ready to go. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to mention quickly.
No, let's go with calls.
We're jumping right in.
Calls
so
are fun.
let's get the new model on the road. We've got Sean in Fresno. How are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Sean.
Cool. All right. I have evidence for a spaceless, timeless, intelligent, immaterial creator. My evidence is not a faith-based assumption or personal experience, and I think all the prior theist callers you've had are stupid. They are bad representatives of Christianity. So I'm going to present you guys with some evidence for a creator, and I'm going to use the law of causality to do that. First thing, second law of thermodynamics says that the universe is running out of energy. It cannot be eternal. We know that the universe is expanding. It's getting bigger, so we know that at one point it was all together. Robert Wilson and Arnold Pentheus in 1965 discovered remnant heat left over from the initial Big Bang explosion. They discovered a Nobel Prize from that. So we know that the universe must have had a beginning. We know that at one point it was all together and it exploded out of nothing. Einstein's theory of general relativity says space, matter, and time came into existence together. Now, it's because something exists. Something must have always existed, and if the universe is eternal, then fine. The universe is what has always existed, but we know the universe is not eternal.
No.
It must have had a beginning.
No. Can I cut in here for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Something has always existed. It's called the universe, and we can say this because time began with the universe. There's no point to talking about something having always existed that predates the beginning of time.
Yeah, when you start talking about relativity and entropy, and these are the physical properties of our universe, and you can't extrapolate beyond the beginning because there is no beyond the beginning.
Okay, I don't agree with you. The universe has not always existed. It's been proven.
Well,
you just
we didn't.
Thermodynamics.
You just acknowledged that time began when the universe began, correct?
Yes, I did.
So there's no before time. The concept of before time is a direct contradiction. Before is an application of time.
So you agree with me that something must have always existed, and you're saying that the universe has always existed.
Yes.
Well, I'm not necessarily, but go ahead.
Well, that's what I said, and my point is, you agree with me that that time and the universe came into existence simultaneously.
Yeah, I'm saying the
So
universe
what
had
I'm
a
saying is the
beginning.
idea of always only goes back to the appearance of the universe and the appearance of time. Before there was time, it's nonsensical to talk about anything that came before. So during the entire period when there's been time, there's been the universe. The problem I think you're trying to address doesn't exist.
Okay, I'm saying the universe couldn't have always existed. It can't be eternal because the law of thermodynamics says it's running out of energy. It can't be infinite. It can't be eternal. The universe must have had a beginning.
No, and in fact, you're wrong there too, because the current understanding of the fate of the universe is that entropy is having its way, and the universe is expanding and spreading out, and energy is dispersing. And there's going to be this thing called the heat death, where, stuff still exists, but the energy is played out. And that will be the eternal state of the universe as it continues to expand.
Okay, cool. So I actually lied to your producer and to the chat room. I'm actually an atheist. I'm just playing God's advocate.
Well, we don't really need that.
Do you guys know who Frank Turek is?
I've heard the name, but it's not.
Yeah, he's like Richard Dawkins. He travels around the world trying to present arguments for the existence of God, and he's coming to my college campus tomorrow. So I just basically read his cosmological argument off his website, and I wanted to hear your guys' response to it because I wanted to have some ammo to ask him some questions and debate with him tomorrow.
So we did your homework for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Sweet.
but please do yourself a favor.
The universe had a beginning. It didn't have a beginning. It's eternal.
Do yourself a favor and double check the things we've said. We're not physicists. We're passing on our layman's understanding, right? And this guy is liable to be able to catch you if you pass on anything we said and we have any of the technical details wrong, right? And then use that to shoot you down. So please take what we've said as, sort of a starting point.
And the last thing, I'd recommend, if you haven't already watched it, Lawrence Krauss's lecture on A Universe from Nothing will give a better understanding of some of this. But also in the future, you don't actually have to lie to get through.
Oh, okay. I mean, just because you guys are getting less and less theist callers, more.
Well, that doesn't mean we want fake theist callers.
So I thought it would be nice to pretend I'm a theist and try to argue for God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so much. But thanks for the call.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll save that for another time. We got Juan in Hillsborough. How are you?
Hi, guys. Fan of the show.
Are you a real fan of the show, or are you a theist calling in pretending to be a fan of the show to trip us up?